Time now for the Daily Answer, sponsored by Salem Surround on The Answer Now TV.
I'm not saying this to self-aggrandize at all, but I looked at him almost like a professional son. You know what I mean? I looked at him, and because I watched him from a distance, and I saw him young. And I saw his desires and how he built and everything that he did. And as I was thinking about that, as I packed that microphone up yesterday, I was thinking about him, and I thought, Charlie would have been president. Yeah. Charlie would have been president. Rush wasn't president. Rush didn't have a desire to be president. And I don't know if Rush would have made a good I'd make a horrible president. I don't know. Rush would have been a better president than me. Charlie could have been a great president. He surpassed all of us. I don't know if there's another person in history on our side, at least in the last 150 years, that was like Charlie. To replace Charlie, you need maybe 6 people at the top of their craft to cover everything that he has done.
Yeah. You know, I can't tell you how many times I was with Charlie and people would beg him, you have to run for president, you have to run for president. And Charlie would always, say, no, I'm happy doing what I'm doing. And I will say, Charlie was, the existence of JD Vance gave Charlie a lot of emotional freedom to say that next man up is JD. Our job is to support JD. Yeah. And we wouldn't necessarily be loud and proud about that on this show because we understand there's dynamics. Yeah. But Charlie was in so many ways being honed and sharpened, and
he was,
for such a job. And
look at the difference in him in 10 years. Yeah, 15 years. Look at the difference in him.
Can you imagine if he had 10 more years?
10 more
keep
years
sharpening.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, and people need to understand that. Yes, Charlie was a brilliant communicator. Yes, he was an autodidact who kept studying the classics and political and philosophy and theology and all of these things. And he was deeply, deeply sincere in his faith. But he was also so skilled at the quiet things, the behind the scenes things. And he would honor people. He was trusted. If you got into a heated discussion in private with Charlie, nobody would ever hear about that. If anything happened, because his goal was to keep people together. He understood that there are so many forces in our world and our politics that are ripping everybody apart. And I said this yesterday, but it bears repeating. He, just a few weeks before his death, he sent me this hierarchy of what the Greeks considered to be the highest virtues and the highest callings. And he said to me, Andrew, we are not the actors and the entertainers that are at the bottom. That's how the Greeks put it. He said, we need to strive to be statesmen and philosophers up at the top and theologians. And he said, this is what we're trying to be, not that. Anybody could do that. Not everybody can do that. And God, he knew that God had put him in a position that he could keep people together. And so, there would be times where everybody wanted us to go all in on this story or go all in on that. And Charlie saw 3 steps ahead all the time. He was always thinking long term, what will that do to the movement? And so he would craft his messaging and his strategy and, who we invited to what, around how do you manage this current moment so that everybody is still a part of this thing.
I can't thank you enough for inviting us
I can't
to be
thank
here.
You enough for coming.
No, I mean, it is an honor. I called Stu yesterday and I said, Stu, you should come with me. And he said, this is history in the making. I mean, it's an honor to be here. Yeah,
well, really you honor us, and you're a beautiful tribute and open to him. And I know we're not done yet, but no, I can't thank you enough.
Thank you. God bless.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel. Stay informed anytime, anywhere with the Salem News Channel at 9:30 a.m. TheAnswer.com. This has been The Daily Answer, sponsored by Salem Surround on The Answer Now TV.